Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Just before I begin, I just wanted to let you know I'll be sharing my time with the member for Milton. Madam Speaker, I'm rising today to speak to Bill C-20. It's a bill that establishes an independent body called the Public Complaints and Review Commission. It is to review and investigate complaints concerning the conduct and level of service by the RCMP and the CBSA, conduct reviews of specified activities of the RCMP and the CBSA. It authorizes the chairperson of the Public Complaints and Review Commission to recommend the initiation of disciplinary processes or the imposition of disciplinary measures in relation to individuals who have been the subject of complaints. It amends the CBSA Agencies Act to provide for the investigation of serious incidents involving officers and employees of the CBSA. It amends the English version of federal statutes and orders, regulations, and other instruments to replace references to the force with references to the RCMP. Madam Speaker, this isn't the first time that I've risen to speak about the importance of having oversight for the CBSA. You know, we hear very regularly that how important it is for open, transparent government, how important it is for us to ensure that Canadians and everybody within the Canadian border have the ability to be treated fairly, have the ability to conduct their affairs within a certain decorum of respect, and to be able to enter our country, to be able to not be judged based on their shell. And as much as I respect the work that the CBSA has done over these decades and years, with their ability to bring in and to be able to recognize and to go through hundreds and thousands of people on a regular basis through over 1,000 ports of entry within our country, I wonder what the impact is to people that may look differently, people that may have different abilities, that may not speak to or speak the same language that our CBSA officers speak. It's not a question of what and whether our CBSA officers are able to contribute and support our borders and our entry points across the country, Madam Speaker. It's a question of how are we maintaining and supporting the integrity of Canadian values in this country. It's a matter of, are we ensuring that everybody who comes in has that equality of opportunity, has the due process? And as we give discretion to CBSA officers as they process these intense applications on a day-to-day basis, are those applications processed in a manner that is fair, that is objective, and that is in value to what we hold dear as Canadians? And as hundreds and thousands of travelers, of permanent residents, of citizens cross the border on a daily basis, I wonder about how CBSA officers are ensuring the integrity of the process. And I wonder about what are those cases that have been missed. I know it's been in the news recently about a number of refugees from Egypt that came in through Vancouver Port that were intervened by CBSA officers and are now alleging that they have been discriminated against, as Muslims who have come in from Egypt have been linked to the Muslim Brotherhood and have no way of recourse from the CBSA officer that intook them to what their refugee applications would have looked like. They have spent years trying to find a home, having really wanted Canada as their home, and are now in a situation where they don't know where they belong. And had we instilled this legislation at the moment when you had first introduced it a couple of years ago, I wonder if they would be still in that same situation. What this legislation does, Madam Speaker, is that it gives people the opportunity to really delve deep into whether or not their claim, the way that they're treated as they enter into or exit from Canada is fair, is a way that we, as with our Canadian values, would feel respected or would feel proud of. And I can tell you that those refugee claimants out of Vancouver who have had their dealings with the CBSA without having any recourse with the way that they have been treated by the CBSA out in Vancouver with those specific cases, I doubt that they feel that they've been treated fairly. But if we had had a way for there to be adjudication, for an independent complaint system to listen to take in the facts, to understand what had transpired in this case, if that whole regime had been available, I doubt that those people in Vancouver would be feeling that. I commend each and every member of the CBSA, Madam Speaker. I know how great work they do, saving lives, going through people day by day by day, protecting the national security of this country, ensuring that we are secure as Canadians. But at the same time, Madam Speaker, if there is no oversight to the discretionary power that is given to CBSA officers that are dealing with people on a day-to-day basis, we wonder just how open and transparent we can be. We wonder what equality of opportunity looks like. Canada is a country that is revered across the world. We take in a lot of people looking for homes. And we have become the adopted home for hundreds and thousands of people, including myself, Madam Speaker. And I wonder, how can we improve that process? How can we ensure that the entry point to this safe haven that is Canada can be improved? How can we ensure that the people that are having to deal with those first officers as they try to enter the country are treated with respect, are treated with dignity, and are treated without bias, regardless of where they come from, Madam Speaker? It is an independent oversight body that allows us the privilege of being able to provide that oversight, of being able to provide that equality of opportunity to everyone who is seeking refuge within our country. This legislation has been really delayed in coming, Madam Speaker. It is so necessary, it is so important that we include this independent oversight body to ensure that our borders are not only protected, but that they are free from the bias, the subjectivity that our Charter of Rights and Freedoms protects Canadians from on a daily basis, Madam Speaker. We have to move forward on this legislation, and I'm really looking forward for this to go through committee and finally receiving royal assent, Madam Speaker, because I believe that this is how we continue to achieve equality of opportunity in our country. Thanks, Madam Speaker.
Questions and comments. Questions et commentaires.